Hello, welcome to the latest episode of Driving with Dan, and I'm not in a car. That's because last week I said that I was actually going to be in a car filming this video, but there wasn't much to say, and, well, I did forget. But we'll gloss over that, or as Clarkson would say, let's not get bogged down with who did what. What we are going to talk about is Grand Tour's latest episode, and a lot of Jaguar Land Rover. So, yeah, start off the Grand Tour then. So, they reviewed the Urus driving around on a penis made of snow. Quite a fun sort of clip to watch, racing against a 911 Turbo, I believe it was, with the all-wheel drive system. So, quite different cars, really, but both have all-wheel drive and quite a lot of power. But I was actually, I think everyone was staggered by how well the Urus was able to keep up with Abby driving the 911, considering Clarkson was driving the Urus as well. Really quite impressed, actually. Then the next car that was reviewed on there was the Alpine A110. I think, everyone seems to like that car. But I don't know, if I had that money, £50,000, I think I would get the Lotus Elise. I don't know. But it's still very popular, and James May drove it and very much liked it. And then, to end the show, they did a clip about Jim Clark and about his racing career with Lotus, every single series that he did, essentially, as well. Which was really powerful clip. So if you haven't watched the show yet, go and watch it, especially this last section about Jim Clark was, really powerful. And I think quite educational for a lot of people as well, including me, to be honest. I knew Jim Clark, as the name and all, and knew quite a lot of the history, but not that much, as the Grand Tour said. Really impressive, just incredible driver that he was. Anyway, the next topic then is Jaguar Land Rover, and this is quite exciting because they've been quite busy over the last week, and the biggest thing that they think they mentioned the Velar with a V8, brilliant. Any other time I would have loved that piece of news. But there's a more important piece of news, really, which is the fact that they've just brought out a new engine, and that's good news. So they recently sort of slowed down and got rid of the old V6 that they had, which is a 3-litre supercharged V6. It was some bits of it were quite old. And so that has left the XF platform. Was it the XE? I think it was the XE. They got rid of the V6 Sport just because the sales weren't strong enough. And sort of in the background, they've been producing. Well, not producing. What's the word? Developing. That was the word I was looking for. Straight 6, which is going to be turbocharged. Now, this is fairly new for the petrol Jaguar Land Rovers, just because they've always liked the supercharger, and so have I. But it's not all bad news yet. So the main bit of it is going to be turbocharged just to meet the emissions, and it needs to be that efficient, as do all engines now. I can tell you that it will make 400 brake horsepower, which is about 50 to 100. 50 brake horsepower more than the V6 did. Or is it? It's about the same, I think. About the same as the V6. I don't know how much lighter it is. I'm assuming it's lighter, because you don't have that whole V platform. It's in a straight, so... I don't know. It's probably a little bit lighter. I mean, it'd be unlikely to produce a new engine, it'd be heavier. It's going to be 3 litres again, so the same displacement as the V6. Petrol, so it's to do with all the Ingenium engines, which you would think would be diesel, because a lot of the Ingeniums are, but no, it's a petrol 3-litre straight 6. I'm going to say V6 all the time now. So I'm really excited about this. And then the absolute icing and the cherry on top of the cake is it's going to have an electric supercharger. So the supercharger hasn't gone, it's just not permanent, and it's actually going to be kicking in towards the lower RPM. So just to sort of cancel out the lag, so you'll be talking between idle all the way up to probably 2,500 RPM, and then they're going to have a high RPM turbo then kick in. So exactly like the Mighty Car Mods the Supermarch, which had the supercharged, turbocharged, and twin charged it's called, isn't it? But yeah, so have a lovely supercharged wine, which will be also slightly electric as well, which would be fantastic. So all of the power comes from that, and then it sort of turns over then to the turbocharger for the higher RPMs. And it's already going to be fitted to the Range Rover Sport, and it's currently, according to Jaguar Land Rover, going to produce, it'll be one better mile per gallon, so it'll do 30.5 mpg as a mild hybrid with this electric supercharger turbo sort of combo, and costs £81,000. I really hope this works. As you know now, I'm a big fan of Jaguar Land Rover. And to see this new engine development is just so good. Really, really excited by that, as you can tell. So the next topic then, which I've already mentioned, which was the Velar. So last week before, they mentioned... No, last week, they mentioned the new Velar SVA. So Velar already, a beautiful car. However, it had the old V6 in it as top engine spec, producing... 380 brake horsepower max with that V6? Top engine spec you could get. That's not enough for some people, because a lot of people do like their sports utility vehicles. So Jaguar Land Rover had delivered, and they've shoehorned the 5-litre V8, of course they have, into the Velar. And I think suspension, brakes, all of that have been upgraded too. And it's going to be at a price of, I think it's £81,000 as well. Oh my god, so have a look. There we are. So you can see the quad exhaust pipes, slightly more aggressive bumpers. And I've already seen it. Yes, I have. Not because of anything with Jaguar Land Rover, no, I just spotted it driving around Worcester whilst I was there last weekend with the sort of prototype stickers and stuff, so they was testing it still. But it didn't have any camouflage on it, which was really nice. So that's a different Velar. I knew about the SVA, but wasn't expecting to see it. And it was just incredible. So the quad exhaust on it, I only saw it in a split second, but I can tell you, just in the rear view mirror, it looks beautiful as it went past the other way. Not that I was driving away from it in a C1. Jaguar Land Rover, honestly, I can't see how they are struggling at the moment, because they're just absolutely on it, producing some brilliant stuff, and I'm really, really excited by that new engine. And a Velar that can do 170 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in, I think it's 4.3 seconds, which is faster. I saw someone made a comparison with the 718 Boxster Porsche. The Velar is faster than a Porsche. What? Really, really excited by that. And yes, it's called the SVA, so I don't know why it's not called the SVR, but maybe Range Rover SVR is just too much sort of confusion there, I suppose. But I always think of the SVA as being the more luxury vehicle. So maybe there'll be a new Velar that'll be an SVR. I doubt it. I think this is just it. But yeah, for the fact it's called a SVA, which is the special vehicle... Oh, I've forgotten the word. Autobiography, is it? I've forgotten what the A means now. I can't bother to find it. Oh, I can. I think I've got a link open to it. Yes, 1 second. Right, I'll cut this bit out. Yes, autobiography. So, yeah, that's just a brilliant bit of news, and I can add some more pictures if you wish. I'm just scrolling through I'm scrolling through Car Throttle to find this out. But just the quad exhaust, in person, I can tell you it's just staggering. Because I think the Velar had quite a weird angle on that rear bumper, much like the Disco 5, which a lot of people like, but I didn't know if I quite liked it. It's like quite an odd overhang to just meet the sort of angle of attack and all that you need as a 4x4, but you can still have that beauty of an extended rear end. So to meet that, but this just, it's beautiful. I'm having a look at a picture now and going, yes. So then it's amazing that they're producing, they're sort of really on this content. Yet the latest, they just reported a loss of £3.4 billion in, I think, the last 3 months or something of last year, which is just because of the China market, I believe. Well, no, not to say just because of the China market, but mostly because of the China market. But you'd think a lot of these cars would appeal to, say, the US market, which did see a growth in the end of last year, and sort of the European market as well. I can't understand people who wouldn't want a supercharged V8 Velar or a Range Rover with a straight six that produces 400 brake horsepower and is supercharged and turbocharged with an electric seat. That just sounds brilliant, and if I could afford it, I would go out and buy one of everything from Jaguar Land Rover, because I think they're doing a grand job. Yeah, I think we really need to pay some attention over the next, is it just over a month until the Brexit thing happens, and whether we find out if it's a hard Brexit or not. Now, I don't know anything about politics, but I just had a guest lecture from the Welsh Automotive Forum, which have links with Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders and stuff, and we were talking about Brexit and all, and to be honest, it goes in one ear and out the other and over my head and stuff. I don't really know, but what I do know is that it's gonna be quite a hard time, and just everything going on with the industry now is quite confusing, and constantly have to meet new emissions. We were talking about the fact that CO2 emissions have gone up above what we're expected to be at this time this year and stuff. So we're seeing a turn in the trend because of Dieselgate and people turning away from diesel, therefore meaning that we're getting more CO2 going up and stuff, because you get more CO2 when you burn petrol. And it's just because people go, I don't want a diesel because it's dirty. Yes, you get NOx, which of course has been more news about Welsh NOx levels being too high in certain places because diesel cars. And it's just like, that's really quite difficult. You can't win either way. But, it's quite hard. I can't remember what I was talking about now. I've lost my trend of thought. Anyway, yeah, emissions and stuff and Brexit and stuff. I think we really need to listen. Every piece of news you hear, I've been looking on BBC News, and you just see, Brexit does this, Ford have mentioned this, Toyota and Nissan have said we're not going to build this here. It's quite hard, because what's the Nissan saying about the X-Trail not going to be built at the Sunderland plant in Nissan? And most likely the next level, Duke and Qashqai wouldn't follow at Sunderland as well if we had a hard Brexit and everything goes horribly wrong. It's rather sad to see, and I really hope Jaguar Land Rover can have. Well, they had this plan, of course. They've dropped 4,500 people just because of low sales, essentially, in the China market and all. I just really hope they've got this plan all sorted out, and we're going to see a turnaround, because I really want to see them making a profit, so they can keep researching stuff that's brilliant, like superchargers and turbochargers. If I could buy one of those engines right now, I would. I don't know what, just brilliant. Love it. Anyway, thank you for watching today's episode. I again apologise for the lack of content over the last while. A lot of stuff going on, really, but not a lot in the automotive industry. I haven't had that much to talk about. I can't even remember if I mentioned on last week's Grand Tour about the pickup trucks. I think I did. Anyway, thank you for watching. I shall see you in another video, hopefully within a week. If there's more going on, I think, the Brexit stuff, I know it's not the most interesting content, but it is very important it's got right. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in a future video. No, I won't mention that. There might be some future content involving some interesting stuff. Yeah. Anyway, farewell. Cheers.